Today we are bringing you a big game streamer for many predatory species from bull trout to saltwater gamefish.
Hey everyone, welcome to another segment on the bench. Today I'm going to bring you up a big game streamer. This is a easy fly to tie, an articulated fly. In the rear I'm going to be using this is just a salmon up high hook here for the trailer hook. I'll be cutting the point, or I'll be cutting that at the end off. We're not just going to use it for the shank. I'm going to dress that with 6 strung neck saddles. These are selected deceiver saddles or hackles you can buy in a package. Quite nice. All selected out for you. Tie that curved side out so we get some more extra movement. Anytime we can incorporate a little extra movement in our flies, we up our chances considerably. Fish always like to see a little movement. We're using some medium Palmer chenille and pearl. I would whip finish that off. I'm using 3/0 white flat thread here to tie with. I would put some UV materials on that, UV resin there just to cement the head. We won't bother with that right now to slow you up. I've got the tying here set at 2 times fast, and we will save a little time going there. I just clipped the end of that fly off, so now we just have the shank, and we're going to attach that onto our lead hook here, which is a perfect bend 2/0 hook from Gamegatsu. Got an extra large chartreuse cone head on the front, and we'll be using some 35 thou lead just to kind of hold that cone in place. And we'll get our thread on the shank and behind it here, wrap through it, just kind of hold everything together and come to the point of the barb. It's a barbless hook, but I pinched the barbs down. I want to have this hook ride up, the eye up, so I'll just turn that around. Wouldn't really matter too much, just the way I like to do it. Now we'll 50-pound Power Pro braid is what I'm using here to attach these 2 shanks, and it lays really nice and flat, very strong, never failed me yet. So you can use sinuous wire too, it works just great. I use that sometimes. Speaking of wire, we're going to be using a dubbing brush here, and I'm using some 0.2 millimeter stainless steel wire. It's a little heavier than my dubbing brush wire I use typically, but this large fly. Bring my table out. I'm going to make the body out of craft fur. This is one of my favorite materials. I always like laying this material down on my dubbing brush table and make some really nice dubbing brushes here. We're going to lay these butts down just over the thread. I'll bring in some flash. This is polar wing flash here, and then I'll just use some dubbing brush, or dubbing wax I should say, on top of my wire, and that'll just hold all the fibers from falling out on you, save you a lot of grief. Wrap that up nice and tight, brush it out with my heavy brush, and get all these fibers laying out. A few fibers that we see right at the end there, that's fine. I'll leave them, don't brush them out, kind of leaves a little bit of a ball at the end there, and helps with the contour of your fly. So we're going to have a really nice fly. Doesn't look too organized right now. I tie it off right there. We have enough. I'll bring in my vodka needle and just pluck out any loose fibers we have. Get that back in my vise there. It slipped out. And brush that back. It's got a nice contour. I do like to taper. Looks good. And then we'll bring our accent color over the top, which is going to be the fluorescent yellow, which is a good coloration for many species. The bottom I'll just use some, this is some laser dub, fluorescent orange, and just top it off. I'm going to put a little more of that yellow, reverse tie that in, just gives a little bit more of a profile at the head. And here I'm using Gala and Green Blend. This is Semper Flash for an accent. And around the sides here, put a little more flash in if you want. I don't try to go over too much flash. We got a little bit of that polar wind in the pattern here. It's bright enough in my opinion and really swims nice. Brush it back, and it's a fly that's really nice and easy to throw. Well, let's get on to one of the most important parts of the fly is finishing. When you always need eyes and some other markings on streamers to make them even more effective. So let's get to work on this one here. We'll show you how we can keep these nice soft materials from breathing in the water without interfering with their breathability. We're going to be using some of these metallic paint pen markers from Sharpie. They're brand new. There's several different colors available. There's more than what I have here, but they sure work good. And so what we're going to do is, I used to use a ruler and Sharpie markers on the flat surface on the table, but it would squish the fibers flat. And really what I want to do is have the fibers being stroked back here so they these bars all line up nice and straight when the fly's under tension. When you do it the other way with the ruler on the desk, and it seems to flatten everything out, and when the fly's under some tension, then it looks more like speckles on there instead of lines. So here we're doing some silver bars to give it some scaly appearance, and then I'll come over the top here. We're going to put a little gold on the top right just at the very end of this chartreuse, just to give a little darker effect on there as I do. And here's some dark olive. This is Prisma marker, and those are work really well too. So those are great marker pens. And we'll put on just a little black, just right on the front here, just make it a little interesting. And so you can do lots with these marker pens without overdoing your pattern. Great fly pattern, and it looks really good. It's nice and subtle, but it really breathes well. So let's get in here and add these eyes. I'm going to be using some UV resistant marine goop. This has been my go-to applicator for these eyes for years, and I've never had any of them fail yet. I've never lost an eye in the saltwater or any other situations. You put lots of that on, you get that eye set in there, but you see it's not pushed in and creating a narrow shape. I want this nice big bulky head on these flies. Push some water. The fish feel it coming. They feel a lot of that with their lateral lines. A lot of the species do when they hunt. Here's some red marker pens too. If you're using other ones, you can, instead of using that red or the orange I have on this for accent, you can just put a little marker pen on the belly too. So that's another good option.
Thanks for watching Brent's fly fishing instructional series. He can be found on Brent's YouTube channel and Sport Fishing on the Fly.